Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kira and I'm back at you with another monthly completed pages video. Oh, the end of the year is creeping up so fast, I can't think about it, otherwise it'll stress me out. But I do have a little extra treat to share with you for this video. A lot of you have been asking me for a tutorial for my Notion digital coloring tracker planner situation, and because so many people are interested, I actually decided to create a template for you guys to download. I'm not going to go into the details too much right now, that'll be the second half of this video, so if you're interested in that, stick around. But first off, let's talk about my coloring stats for the month of October. So this is what my digital coloring tracker is currently looking like. I have given it a little bit of a mini upgrade since the last completed pages video. If you're up to date with my videos, I did do quite a hefty coloring haul recently, so let's have a look at my coloring book collection. These are all the books in my collection currently. We're currently at 19 books, which is quite a bit. I'm starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed with all of the coloring pages I now have, but there's still so many books out there that I want to add to my collection as well, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword, that one. Now let's have a look at my colored pages tab. So this is what my colored pages chart is currently looking like. Small Victories is still very much up there with the most completed pages. And I currently have 6 books that are untouched within my collection, which isn't too bad, but I would like to diminish that. Now let's look at my coloring tracker for 2024. In October, I ended up coloring 8 pages, which is pretty good. I haven't colored 8 pages since July, so I did quite a bit of coloring in October, even though it felt like I didn't. I think because some of the pages were on the smaller side, that's why. Now, if we open this tab here, I've got all the things written out, all the details. I'm not gonna even bother counting that, but you can see I completed 4 of those pages from my coloring plans. Not horrible, not amazing. As I said, I did 8 colored pages, I did 1 buddy color, I colored in 7 books in total, and I have 1 whip on the go. So yes, if you like the look of this little tracker here, stay around to the end of the video where I'm gonna show you my template that I've created and how you can use that template to create your own digital coloring journal. But before we do that, let's see my completed pages for October. Alright, so we're gonna start off with the 1 whip that I currently have going, and if you saw my last completed pages video, you would have seen this one already, so I'm not gonna dive too far into it. Johanna Basford, Worlds of Wonder, and we still need to complete this page. I am definitely doing it this month. I am hating having whips. I feel like I can't fully move on to a new coloring month with old whips from the last couple of months still in my arsenal, so this is definitely getting colored this month. Mark my words, it will be completed next month. Hold me to it, people. Hold me to it. Now, I didn't include this in my completed pages total for the month, but I thought I'd show you this page anyway because it is somewhat of a completed page in a way. So if you saw my last video, I did a how to color clouds video in Rita Berman's coloring books, and these are all the techniques and methods that I showed you in that video. So if you want to see how I brought these clouds to life, definitely check that video out. And this is also a free PDF that you can download from my Ko-fi store. So yeah, if you want a resource to practice your Rita Berman clouds, definitely head over to my store in the link in the description and you can download this to do some coloring practicing. Now onto the actual completed pages for October. I did 2 in Small Victories. I definitely think I should try to complete this book in the near future. As you would have seen in the intro on my little book chart, I've colored so many pages in this book and it feels like I'm so close to finishing it but also so far, so maybe that can be one of my 2025 goals. But this here was the first page I completed in this book this month, and this was a buddy color with the lovely Lucy from Lucy Colors 2024. She's on Instagram as well as YouTube, so definitely check her out. I absolutely love how her page turned out. The pastel colors were giving me all the spring vibes because that's the season we're in here in Australia. And as you can see, I went down a very different route. I used a lot of Halloween-y colors this month. I've seen seen a lot of people color this page on Instagram, and a lot of them did this sort of 3D shell vibe. So I tried to give it a go myself, and I feel like it turned out pretty well. I also added in quite a few elements myself on this page. So obviously I added in the clouds and the background here. I also added in these leaves here on either side. And then I also added in a little butterfly as well. I've really discovered that I love adding elements to my coloring pages, especially in Johanna Basford's work. I feel like her pages really allow for it. Now I'm trying to remember what I used on this page. I believe I used my Artex colored pencils. I've obviously got some white acrylic paint pen on there, my Posca brand. I also utilized some of my Artex acrylic brush markers to outline the clouds as well as the circle here. And there's also a bit of glitter gel pen, the Pentel brand, on some of the little elements, the tiny elements on the flowers and the butterflies. I'm gonna be honest, the dual hybrid glitter metallic gel pens, oh god, I always struggle to say the full title, from Pentel, have been a bit of a regret purchase for me. They're not really that glittery, and they also, because they have two different types of glitter in each gel pen, they end up looking a different color and drying a different color than you would anticipate on the barrel. So I definitely won't be purchasing those again, but I do really like the gold and the silver in that set. But I think once I've gone through the gold and silver gel pens in that set, I might try out the Sparkle Pop metallic gel pens from Pentel. Let me know if you like those. And then we have this really interesting page here. This was from my 10 essential acrylic marker tips video, and I set myself the challenge of only coloring with acrylic markers, and this is how it turned out. And I've got to admit, this was so fun and mindless. I was very nervous, as you saw in that video, to complete this challenge, but it ended up not being too bad. These two vignettes here are definitely my favorite. I'm not as much of a fan of this one. This one's alright, not horrible, but I can definitely see myself doing this more. It was a lot quicker than using pencils, and it's just a fun technique to experiment with. So this was with my Artex acrylic brush markers, the 60B set, and then all the white details are just with my white Posca paint pen. But yeah, I could really see myself doing one page like this a month. I feel like it kinda is reminiscent of those color by number books, but just with a lot more freedom, and obviously you don't have to worry about coloring the numbers on the page. So that is my second page done in small victories this month. We then have Shooting Star by Maria Trolle. This was my color along for the month of October. So yeah, this is the page here. This was not a Halloween-y page whatsoever, but I chose a color palette and added in some bats to really enhance a Halloween-y vibe. So if you want to see how I colored this page, definitely check that color along out. And I've said in a few videos recently that I'm really trying to get better at portraying light sources, so I really tried to do that in this page, and I feel like it's, you know, not too bad. I definitely still have to improve, but we're getting there, we're making progress. On this page, I used all my classic coloring supplies. We've got Prismacolors, Artex brush markers, white Posca paint pen, and that is it. No glitter on this page. And that's another page done in Shooting Star by Maria Trolle. Next up is a page from Enchanted by melpomeni, chatzipanagiotou. Now, if you're a frequent viewer of my channel, we all know I'm a massive fan of Shelley from Shell's Coloring Journey, and she colored this page, I think it might have been last year or the year before, and it was one of the reasons that I purchased this book, so I had to follow her color along. I definitely took quite a lot of creative liberties with this book because I literally don't own any of the same supplies as her. So I was kind of just doing the best I could with the supplies I had, and I am so happy with how this one turned out. I used soft pastels in the background. I used my Artex pencils. I also based with my uusikuuu alcohol markers. I believe I used watered down acrylic paint to make all the splatter effects in the background. And there's also little bits of glitter on this page, which I'm not going to be able to show effectively. I did lots of like silver gel pen in the background here. Also some gold gel pen here, and I believe, yes, I did it on these weird grape-like things, just to give a little bit of variance. So thank you so much, Shelley, for posting that color along. I had such a blast coloring this page. So that was a page from Enchanted Earth by melpomeni, chatzipanagiotou. Now the next 3 pages I'm going to be showing you are all from my soft pastels video, where I showed you 3 different soft pastel backgrounds you could do in your coloring books. The first one I'm going to show you is from Rooms of Wonder, and it is the very last page, the key end page here. It was so funny. I saw someone comment on my Instagram this morning actually, and they were like, oh, did you complete the book? Is this, you know, your final page? And I was like, no, I just felt like coloring the last page in the book. So yeah, in that video, I showed you how to do this bubble pastel background. I really love this background. It's actually really easy to do. It looks more intimidating than it is. And then once I had the background done, the key took really no time at all. I think I finished it in one night. I really need to start writing down the supplies that I use in my videos, but I'm pretty sure that I used my brute funers for the key element. And then yet again, for any of the acrylic elements, I used either my Artex acrylic brush markers or my Artex 3mm tip markers, as well as my white acrylic Posca paint pen. So that was a nice, easy page from Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford. We then have a page from this adorable book by Diane dufour, Boules de Poils. And I completed this page here this month. And oh my goodness, I just love this page. It was so fun to bring to life. Yet again, used soft pastels in the background and then went over top with some watered down acrylic marker to make the clouds. You can see how I did that in my soft pastels video. And I decided to be a little bit fancy, a little bit experimental, and try doing different colored highlights with my acrylic markers on the pumpkins, and I love how it turned out. It really just adds a more magical effect to the background. And I actually decided on the bottom here, on the ground I suppose you could say, to not burnish it and actually leave the texture of the pencil mark. I'm still like, oh, should I have burnished it? But I think it's kind of fun to have that texture on the bottom there. And I'm really happy I made the decision to, you know, do the cats in a more monochromatic scheme so that the rest of the page could really stick out at the forefront. I'm fairly sure I used my Artex colored pencils on most of this page. Yet again, used my Artex acrylic brush markers. I sound like I'm a record on repeat at the moment, as well as my white Posca paint pen. And yeah, this is definitely a contender for one of my favorite pages that I colored in October. And then the final page that I did in that soft pastels video was from Year of Witches by uusikuuu. God, I'm just gonna stop saying it. I'm embarrassing myself. And it was this page here. So I did this galaxy background with my soft pastels, and I am so happy with how it turned out. This was my first time trying the technique, and you know, I was very scared going into it. I was worried it wasn't gonna turn out, but I think it did pretty well. Once I'd done the background though, I had no clue what colors I wanted to use for the rest of the page, so I kind of just pulled colors from the galaxy sky and brought them to the forefront. And I also had a lot of issues doing the texture for this. I guess it's kind of like a straw roof that I decided would be purple. I tried to create this straw-like texture with my alcohol markers from uusikuuu. It ended up looking terrible, so then I went over the top with my pencil. It still looked a bit odd, and then so I went over with my Posca paint pen, and then I finally was happy with how it looked. It's not perfect, but I think it's possible. I'm slowly improving with my hair shading and my skin shading. The forefront of the page was based with my uusikuuu alcohol markers. The colored pencil work was done with my brute funers, and then a mix of, yet again, Artex acrylic brush markers as well as Posca paint pen to do all the highlights and little extra elements. I'm still not sure whether I should have added the orange into the color palette, but it's not horrible. I don't know, part of my brain's like, maybe I should have chosen a different color. But anyway, we can't change it now, and I'm still really happy with how the page turned out. So yes, that's my page done in Year of Witches by, I just said I wasn't going to try and say it anymore, uusikuuu. Oh, someone help me, please. And then final page I have to show you is from Rita Berman's Europe book. It was nice to finally color a Rita Berman page. I haven't done one in a while. I colored this page mainly so I could have something for my Rita Berman cloud tutorial thumbnail. And I just went with a page that had lots of clouds in it. So that's why I chose this one. There were actually less clouds than this, but I decided to add more in because the more clouds the better, and that means also the less background I have to color. And I will admit, I don't love how this page turned out. I do really love the clouds. I think they look really cool. I'm just not happy with how I colored the hot air balloons. Something about it just feels a bit messy to me, though I know a lot of people on Instagram said they really liked the pastel vibes of this page, so maybe I'm just being, you know, my own toughest critic. But yeah, if it was just a cloud and leaf page, I think I would like the page a lot more. I did this page with my Prismacolors. I did a watercolor pencil background and just really lent into the sort of messy textural background with my watercolors. I've got quite a lot of glitter on the page as well, glitter gel pen, and then obviously lots of white acrylic paint pen to outline all of the clouds as well as highlights on the hot air balloons. So yes, that's a page done in Meine, Reise, durch, Europa by Rita Berman, and my last completed page to show you for October. As I always do in these completed pages videos, I'm gonna rank my pages for the month from least favorite to most favorite. This doesn't mean that I don't love the least favorite page, it just means that I prefer other pages more. So my least favorite page for this month, which I'm pretty sure you can guess, is the page from Meine, Reise, durch, Europa. Just don't like how I colored those hot air balloons. I don't know how I could make it better, but it just felt a little bit messy to me for some reason. I don't know. In 7th place is the acrylic marker page. Even though I still love that page, I'm always going to prefer my pencil colored work pages more. In 6th place is the Rooms of Wonder page. In 5th place is the tortoise page from Small Victories. In 4th place is the page from Year of Witches. I am seriously itching to do another galaxy background after doing that page last month. In 3rd place is my color along for October, the Shooting Star page. In 2nd place is the color along that I followed from Shell's coloring journey, the Enchanted Earth page. And in 1st place, I can't help it, I just loved the boule de pois page. It just turned out so cute and magical, and it's just right up my alley. As always, comment down below what your favorite page of mine was for this month. I love it when my least favorite page is your favorite page. It just really goes to show how we're all so different and unique and such different colorists. And I have decided not to do any coloring plans for the month of November because I want to do quite a few tutorial videos and I'm not sure what pages I want to do in those videos yet, so I'm going to leave it for November, but I do plan on doing a completely dedicated video to Christmas coloring plans and sort of showing you all of the Christmas pages in my coloring books or what pages could be Christmas themed. So definitely get excited for that video at the end of November. And if you're not interested in my digital coloring planner template, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And for those who are still watching and are interested, let's get into it. Okay, so this is what the coloring journal template should look like when you download it. I've done just some very basic design things, but it's fully customizable, so you can customize it to your preferences. So this is kind of like the main page, I suppose you can call it. So if you want to change this cover up here, you can go up to here and change the cover. You can choose a pre-made cover from Notion. You can upload your own. You can use a website link. And there's also Unsplash here, which is like non-copyrighted images as well, which is what I've used so that I don't get any copyright issues. You can also change any of the emojis that I've added. So this one here, just click on it, you can change the emoji. Same with any of these emojis here, you can click on them and change the icon. And the first thing I have here is the coloring book collection. So if you click on that, it's the same situation with the cover. You can just go up there and change it. And basically you just type out out all of the books in your collection, which can be a little bit tedious to start with, but then you only have to add one here or there each month, or a few depending on how often you're purchasing your books. And all you need to do is type in the next number. So this will be the 4th book in my collection. Let's say it's Worlds of Wonder. Type that in, put in the author, and then also the date that you purchased it. Obviously you can get rid of any column that you like and add more columns depending. What's this month? November 2024. And they're just the things that I like to track when it comes to my coloring book collection. And then when you need to add more lines, you just hover your mouse down here and you can click this little add button here, and that'll add an extra line to the column. The next one is my favorite part of the coloring journal, which is the colored pages tab. And this is how I do my sort of bar chart of all the pages that I've colored. So you can't edit the chart feature. You edit this by clicking on this view here, which is the table view. And what you can do is add a new page, which will technically be a new book, I suppose. And then you click, I don't know, we've already got Worlds of Wonder there. Let's add in Boules by Diane dufour. Let's say I've colored 4 pages in that so far. And I have this set up so that the numbers go in descending order. So whatever book you have the most colored pages in, it'll automatically go to the top. The book with the least amount of pages will go to the bottom. And then once you've added that in, you can just go to the chart and it'll be added in there. So where was it? Boules? Just there, you can see. You can also do some editing of this chart by going into the edit view, and you could change it into a donut chart, a line chart, a vertical bar chart, whatever tickles your fancy. And you can also go down to here to the color option and change the colors as well if you like. I have it currently set on the colorful setting, but if you're a real fan of teal, you could change it to teals. I'm gonna go back and change it back to colorful just because that's what I like. Oh, I just realized I don't have a cover image on this one. I'll show you how that's done. So I'll add a cover, change cover, and I believe I went into Unsplash and just typed in rainbow. Yeah, and then I did this one down here. And then what I go and do is reposition it and just drag it to the top so that all the light colors are showing, because I prefer it like that. Save position, and that's all done. So yes, that's the colored pages section. And if there's anything that I don't touch on or that you need clarification on, please comment it down below and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And then finally, we have the 2025 tracker. I decided to put in 2025 since I feel like we're at the end of this year already. But if you want to create a 2024 tracker, all you need to do is click on these little buttons here, those 6 little dots, and click duplicate. And that'll duplicate the tracker. There we go. And then you can just drag it up above it and rename it 2024 tracker, just like that. Yet again, I forgot to add a cover image. Silly Kira. And yeah, so this is the tracker page. We'll just stay on the 2024 one for now, but the 2025 one is exactly the same. And basically what I have here is a little progress chart setup. So if you click on pages here, you can edit the property. And I have my, I guess, progress chart set to 6 because I want to color at least 6 pages a month. But you can change that depending on your preferences. You might want to color 12 pages a month. So if I put in 12 there, you'll see that this has changed the bar progress, the progress bar, and obviously 5 is less than half, so that's what that's showing there. You could also change it to a ring that shows you a ring progress. Number's boring, you don't see any visual thing. And you can also change the color of that as well. So you could change it to blue, red, whatever tickles your fancy. What did I just have it on? Purple. Let's put it back to purple, and I'm gonna put that back to 6, just like that. And then I also have a sum equation set up at the bottom here. So as you add in more pages each month, so if I click on there and add 4, you'll see here that that sum has changed to 9. So you can keep track of, you know, your total colored pages for the entire year. I've added all these little emojis that I think kind of represent each month. You know, you got some fireworks for January, a rose for February, but you can change that depending on where you are, what season you're in, what is going on. In my personal tracker, I have July as a birthday cake because that is my birthday month. But yeah, you change it just the same as all the others by clicking it, and you can search for the emoji you want in the little filter search bar there. And then to go into the statistics for each month, you just hover your mouse over that month and then click open, and then this side will open up here. So you can see the progress bar is at the top here, and then I've just done a very loose guide of what you could put here. You've got coloring plans here, so you could type in the book title and the page description. How I do it is like this, so small victories, and then I'll just do the page description. Let's say it's the mushroom house page. And that just helps remind me. And then you can tick it off when you've completed it that month. And then this is how I keep track of all the pages I've colored that month. You saw mine before, I don't need to show you again. You can also keep track of all your buddy colors here, the books that you colored in, as well as your whips. And then obviously you can also add your own sections to this. So to add in your own little section, all you need to do is put in the slash, and then I think, yes, I've got this under heading 2. You might want to do an untouched books section. So untouched books. Actually, I'm going to change that to previously untouched books. And then you know how many books that were previously untouched that you colored in that month. And then you can just minimize it like that, and then you're back to the table. So yeah, that is the coloring journal template that you can download from my Ko-fi store. And if you're watching to this part of the video, I feel like you're a real supporter of my channel, so I'm comfortable chatting about this with you. I'm basically really hoping to turn a pictured purpose into maybe some sort of brand one day, and I really want to work on that and figure out different ways that I can provide more content for you guys. It is really important to me that all of my tutorials and educational content remain free for you guys to watch and consume, because I want people to be able to learn about coloring no matter what their income bracket is or their demographic. That's just something that's really important to me. But if I can monetize little things like this, that means I can do less hours at work and use that time to create even more content for this channel. And I always want to make sure that the resources and little products like this template that I put up onto my Ko-fi store are still super duper affordable. So I'm going to be putting this template up for $2 AUD, which is around $1.30 USD. So it's not too much. It's like a gold coin donation. So yeah, if you're able to take $1 out of your budget for the month to support my channel so I can bring you more content, I would be just so grateful. It's always been my dream to have my own little business one day, and I'm hoping maybe a pictured purpose can become that somewhere down the track. I don't know what it would look like, but that would be an absolute dream of mine. So yes, I'll have my Ko-fi store linked down below where you can find this template and download it for yourself to use on Notion. The Notion app is free, so you don't have to worry about that. And until next time, happy coloring friends. Have a good day, have a good life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!